Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon. And I end up alone. I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you Hollywood person. Hollywood person.
Wagwan people, Lumini here, and we're back with the start of Season 4 of the Sunderland Save here on my channel. Obviously, last season we ended things by winning the Europa Conference League. We unfortunately didn't finish as high as we wanted to in the table, but we still had a decent showing for ourselves. But we will have Europa League football this season as the winners of the Europa Conference League. So hopefully we can progress there and hopefully use either the league or winning the Europa League to get us into the Champions League for next season would be the ideal thing to get. But if it doesn't happen that way, it doesn't happen. As you can see here, I'm just doing a quick run through the squad with players who have come back from loan. You may see a couple players in there that I have signed on freeze that I may not have talked about yet, but we'll talk about them as I get to them. I, all in all, don't think last season was too bad for us. We struggled a little bit with, as you see, Tommy Doyle, there's one of the first players that we've signed. We struggled a little bit with injuries, so we definitely do need to add to the squad quite significantly this season, I would say. But I think in terms of performances and such, we actually had a pretty good season. And as you can see there, I did talk about Wilfried Zaha at the end of last season, but we have signed Wilfried Zaha on a free. I think his experience will be invaluable to us. Yeah, I think if we can cover... I do have him on the right training and stuff as well, so that's fine. If we can cover ourselves in terms of the injuries that we got, we may have a better opportunity. There's also something that I've been very curious about getting your guys' opinion of. I did put a post out about this. You probably would have seen it by the time this video comes out, but I just want to address it in the video as well, so maybe people who didn't see the post can also have a look at this. Jerome Bernard is a free agent. He's obviously either a regen or something along those lines, because he's a 90 rated 18-year-old striker. The thing for me, I feel like signing him may be a little bit too unrealistic. I don't know if we would be signing players of that stature at the moment. Maybe he would go to a bigger club. But I want to know what your guys' opinion is on it, so you guys let me know how you feel about that. Centre back is something we're looking at extensively. Eric Garcia is one that I'm currently quite interested in. I know a lot of you guys want me to go in for Solé, so if we sell Reece Oxford, we may go in for both Garcia and Solé. There's also a bunch of other options that we have on here that we could potentially look at. Getting a couple more full-backs. Players like Masengo, young players that will progress throughout the season, is something that I've got on there. Palmer we have on there just from last season, and then some players like this that I didn't realise were around, but a decent potential players like Ilias, who else was it, and this guy, I can't say his name, but they're decent potential players and quite young and also very cheap from Barca. Obviously we're not going to try and go too crazy on the attackers because that's not where we're prioritising at the moment. I did scout the likes of Jonathan David and Makoko just to see maybe they could be signings that we make, but I think the places we're definitely going to prioritise, and I've still got a lot of scouting to do on it, is the central midfield, centre back, full backs is definitely where we're going to prioritise first. Obviously you guys want Solé in. I think I probably will sign Solé based on the fact that you guys want him in, but I probably will also go for another player. Now, we have a couple things to talk about here. I've got one more player to add to this, which is going to be Reece Oxford. I have decided that I just didn't think that Pavel Booker quite hit the levels. Maybe as a sub he could be better, but I've put him on the transfer list just in case we get offers in for him. Jack Clark also and Patterson are going to go on the loan list, because Jack Clark I think could be decent, but he's not going to progress with us. Obviously his position change isn't coming through. Patterson, I just don't think is actually going to make the levels that we probably use him here. which is unfortunate. I may even sell him if the opportunity arises. And then obviously we've got the same guys, the young lads, Richie, etc., that we're probably just going to loan out again. I've got a bunch of scouting to do, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get back to you guys. We do have a fair bit of trimming to do with the squad as well. I think there's a few players we could probably let go, and there's also we need to keep some money because we do have a lot of players here, as you can see, in the final year of their contract, and a fair few of them are players I want to re-sign. For instance, the likes of McCallum, probably even Gunter, Lerma if we have money left over, Brownhill we definitely want to re-sign, Jack Clark we probably want to re-sign, Richie and Heath we definitely want to re-sign, Hudson maybe we want to re-sign as well, Matete I probably will let go. But yeah, so we kind of need to leave a little bit money left over at the end. I don't think I want to sell Sam yet. He's a pretty vital player for us, plays a lot of positions for us in that left back, centre back, and he actually is covered at right back as well. I think he's probably just too vital of a player for me to let go at the moment. Another Christian Gunter transfer offer. Obviously we had one from Barca, that wasn't English for a minute there, at the end of the season that I upped the price. I wouldn't be against letting Gunter go. 19 maybe? I'm not even willing to come up to 19. I kind of understand it because he doesn't have any promise after that. I may let him go for the next bigger team that come in for him. Logan Anderson now getting the loan offer coming from Galatasaray, so we'll do the same for him. Got an agreement here with Ghent, so we'll accept that. They may just beat Fenerbahce to the loan deal. We've got Torino coming in, offering us Sasa Lukic plus 7 million for Mahmoud Dahoud. We go Pershers plus 15. I don't want Ferrari. I'm going to walk away from that because they're not offering players that I actually want to use over here. Check out our board objectives for this season. So youth development wise, within 2 seasons, they want us to have at least one player from a youth academy played 30 games. We've got 1 season left to do that. That started last season. They want us to score at least 1 goal in away matches this season. That should be feasible. Sign a player of a different nationality to the one of the club, again should be feasible. Within 3 seasons, increase a club's worth by 30% through player sales and competition prize money. Another thing we should be able to do. We want to finish in the Europa League spot and reach the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And they want us to reach the semi-finals of the Europa League. I will now flash up my own objectives of what I want to do this season, and I'll get back to you guys after that one. So not many objectives for us this season. We're looking to sign 2 new centre-backs in our transfer targets, add depth to the whole squad, but also at the same time trim down the players that aren't getting used as much, so like your Dan Nails, Philip Billings, Pavel Bukas, the players that we aren't using and we don't think we're going to use going forward. I'd like to trim those down, get some money and flip them for players that we can use to help us in Europe, help us in the league, and maybe even a cup run if we can. On-field's pretty simple. I was happy with how we played, but we just need to shore up our defence a little bit more, make it a bit more stable, and also cut out the silly mistakes we're making in midfield. European targets, again, they're pretty straightforward. We want to reach at least the semi-finals of the Europa League. Ideally, I'd like to win it, but I don't like to ever just set expectations too high, so we'll say semi-finals. And we want to qualify for the Champions League, either through the league or through winning the Europa League, but we need Champions League football next season. And last but not least, we're going to do our youth objectives, and that's very simple for me. I want to have a player ready to join up with the first team by next season, whether that's through loaning them out or growing them ourselves through sporadic gameplay. But I want to have either someone like Louis Ritchie or someone like that, maybe someone new, who's ready to join next season and help the team out. We will see the first loan coming through here. Who did McCallum go for? He does decide to go on a year loan to Ghent, so hopefully he'll get a decent bit of play time there. So from that scouting, it was the leftovers of the free agent scouting that I was doing. There are 2 players that I'm now incredibly interested in signing. One being Thomas Drew, a 81 rated English left back. Looks very good. He will definitely be getting signed. And the other being Ryan Sessegnon, who's a free agent, 82 rated. He looks very good as well. We also saw this young man Pedro Diaz, who looks like he could be a decent rotational option for us. I'm not going to go in for him just yet because I would prefer to prioritise these 2. And obviously I don't want to just sign all free agents as I've said in previous seasons, but Sessegnon and Drew do look very good, and I am very interested in bringing them in. 56, I'll give you extra 100k. I'm happy with that. So Ryan Sessegnon will be joining us on a free. That is a big signing for us at left back. Obviously we've got McCallum there at the moment, who has been playing a lot of games for us in that position, but when someone like Sessegnon is free, why are they comparing him to wingers? Yeah, I don't know about that one. These 2 players are just kind of those top players. I think obviously after I said to you guys about the big free agent signing of that young striker, I don't think I'm personally myself going to go in for him, because I think it's a little bit above the level that we would be signing. But Thomas Drew and Sessegnon I think are of a good level, so we'll bring both of them in. That means I'm more likely as well to let Gunter go now, because I think it's probably okay for us to let him go, considering I'm going to remove the likes of Hattbauer. Henrik's going to keep on there. I may sign him, but it's probably more unlikely now. Logan Anderson has decided he doesn't want to go out on loan at the moment, so that's interesting. We also have a transfer offer coming in here for Pavel Buka from Fiorentina, obviously on our transfer list. I'm going to try and just push them up to 20 million, more round number that I would prefer than 19.1. So Pavel Buka may be leaving us to go to Fiorentina. Like I said, I don't think Buka was bad. I just don't think he really had what we necessarily needed, as we see Ryan Sessegnon coming in here to join up with the team. Logan Anderson will be going out on loan to the Bundesliga with FC Köln though, so that's good for him. Give him a quick handshake and then off I go. Both got blonde hair. I need to change my colour hair. Pavel Buka will be leaving to go to Fiorentina for £20 million. Let's see how do they rate our price. Only a C, saying that we could have got significantly more. So I have a bit of a conundrum here, right? Because obviously you guys want me to sign Solé, who obviously is a very good player. He does have the injury prone tag, which kind of scares me considering the amount of injuries that we had. However, he's currently coming out at 19.7. He's 79 rated, 25. His teammate is Mark Gahey, who obviously is an English player. We could bring him back to the Premier League. He has played here previously, so he has experience in the league. He's 20 million more pounds. He's 3 ratings higher, and he is shorter, significantly shorter. So what I want from you guys is to let me know, out of, obviously we've got about 60 million. We've got Reece Oxford that we can potentially use to either trade or sell. Scalvini has actually now been sold, so we're just going to remove him. I want you guys to let me know, should we do a combination of Gahey, Garcia, Solé, Garcia, or try and go Solé and Gahey? I'll put a poll out and you guys let me know what you want to go for. I won't sign a centre back until that point, unless obviously someone comes in for one of the targets. But I think those are the 3 that I'm interested in the most at the moment. If we can get both in, if we can get 2 or 3 in, sorry, that'd be good. If we can't, then you guys let me know in priority order. Whoever gets the most votes is basically who I'll go for first. Whoever gets the second most votes will be the one who we go for second. You guys let me know, and then we'll continue with the centre back from there. The player I'm going to sign in midfield is a young guy who goes by the name of Alexander Carter, who's currently 77 rated. Looks like a bit of a Tottenham youth academy product, but his valuation is quite low, so I think we might be able to sneak in and get him. Obviously it's Conte, so can't push him too much, but he's happy with 7.8. We'll go in and try and negotiate a contract for Alexander Carter. He probably will mostly be a rotational player for us. 300k sign on, and he is happy with that. So Alexander Carter will be joining us as our first full transfer signing, I'm pretty sure. I think everyone else has been free agents. I also need to decide on the futures of the likes of Philip Billing, Loftus-Cheek. I think Loftus-Cheek will probably stay here as a rotational option. He's now 29, so I don't think he should be too surprised by dropping down to a rotational option off of the reserves. I'm happy with Zawari on there. Diallo, I think, will be on the bench, and Tillman in the reserves. I think we'll probably keep Diallo as a rotational option. I don't really want to sell him yet. He wasn't amazing last season, but I think he was just good enough to deserve to stay. I think we could probably do with a backup goalkeeper instead of Patterson as well, just because Patterson is still yet to really grow. Here we do have Manchester United coming in for Reece Oxford here, so we will go in and negotiate 5. They're happy to match that. How is Reece Oxford leaving us to potentially go and join Manchester United? We've got another transfer offer coming in here for Reece Oxford from AC Milan. Going to do exactly the same thing, offer 25.5. We're not going to accept any less than 25. Pretty well rotated team for this. We do earn a 1-1 draw. Didn't have the best of games, obviously it was a heavily rotated side, so I'm not too surprised. Etienne Green transfer offer coming in here. They're offering me Paulo Bernardo plus 8 million. I'm not interested in letting Etienne Green go anywhere, so that's going to be a straight up reject from me. Reece Oxford will be leaving us. He hadn't had too bad of a spell. It kind of went a little bit sour towards the end where I just didn't feel like I could trust him, but he will be going to join a Premier League rival in Manchester United, which is a bit mad. But yeah, Reece Oxford has got a transfer to Manchester United. Like I say, it's kind of crazy that that's happened. I think there's a higher likelihood now that we'll be able to bring in our 2 of our targets at centre-back with that boosted money, because we now have 95 million available for us to spend. So after this, if you guys can, as quickly as you can, get down below into the comments, let me know who you want to sign, and I will get on that as quick as possible, because we're probably going to have a goalkeeper target after those centre backs, but I want to save the money just in case we get the opportunity to sign 2 centre backs. Obviously we wouldn't need to keep the money around. We do lose 3-1 to Torino in our next game in pre-season. Juventus coming in for Gunter. I did say I would let him go if a big team came in. Juventus obviously are a big side. Big transfer offer coming in here for Jorb Vertsen from Villa as well, but if they want him they're going to have to push a lot higher than that. See what they say. They're not willing to come up. That's fine by me, because I don't really want to let him go. Quick youth scout update in the middle of the transfer window to see if anyone's at the level to be called up yet. Not quite. We're getting a couple of players that are nearing the possibility of being called up, but no one is at that level yet. Scout report come back from Hoyland here. Actually surprised that he's only a 75. I thought he would be a bit higher rated than that. He may be a player that we still look to bring in. Obviously he might be a bit cheaper now. Union Berlin are coming in for Etienne Green here, offering us Thorsby. That's kind of disrespectful. We're going to reject that as well. I'm not really even interested in negotiating for Etienne Green right now. Again, we're going to quick sim this because we don't really care about pre-season results. We get 2-2 draw. Zaha getting his first goal for the club, so that's nice for him. Fuck no, Eric Garcia's got PSG coming in for him. Well, if that is the case, then we may sign both Solé. If Eric Garcia goes, then I may bin off everything that I said. Actually, do I just end it now again and just have a really, really short episode? You know, I think that is probably what we're going to have to do. Let's just end it here and let you guys quickly get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Because we could still go Solé and Gahey. We could potentially even pivot across and do someone like Killian and Gahey instead of Garcia. You guys get down in the comments as quickly as you can. Let me know who we should sign, and I will get on it as soon as I get that response back from you. But that's going to be the end of the episode. Please like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell to get notified when the next episode is available to you, and I hope to see you in it. Peace.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends